I was in New York last week, and then they found me in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Well, hey, we're
Whoa,
live.
whoa, whoa! Hey, hey, Altoona. What's in Altoona?
McDonald's.
Oh, well, Schwages. I don't know if you want to. It's not that time right now. What did you do at the McDonald's, may I ask?
I saw an Italian. No, I actually really funny though. I was in New York like 2 days ago when we were gonna record, and I'm talking about this. I was with Zach Woolley, and I'm talking about this,
Uh,
and we walk past a guy, and I swear the guy looked exactly like the CEO killer.
hey! I was gonna say you're not gonna beat these allegations, but now you're giving me like probable cause that you are the snitch.
The,
Are you
I
the
just don't.
snitch?
I just don't get how like somebody would like from the pictures that we saw, like how any reasonable person that didn't have like inside information on that guy like saw that unless the guy clearly went up and said, you know, um, something.
That is the very
What he
interesting
said
part
like
of
I
this
did it or
whole
whatever, which seemed like
whole
his
thing.
plan or whatever. But like I don't, I
Yes.
mean, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't know enough.
No, but it is crazy. I was working the day that this whole news story broke, and the fact that we could see his face on multiple cameras. He was riding off on a bicycle, then he caught a taxi cab, or a bus, and then got out of state. I don't know how, like, without having a car to his name, he was able to kill someone in broad daylight and then escape all the way to a McDonald's like a week later and not be found. Like, for a week, he was able to
And he could
go
have gotten
scot
away. Like
free.
if he wanted to, he could have clearly gotten away.
Yeah, I
It
don't know if
seemed
he
like
could have because he did enough for a long time. Like, I don't know how. The thing is, like, he shouldn't have gotten away. Like, it was just he was gone.
have you ever
He
been to New York?
No, I've not been to New
Okay,
York. Is
like,
it it's just that
you'll
easy to
see
get away?
the wildest things you've ever seen,
It can't be
and
that easy to
just,
get
like,
away.
nobody bats an eye. So, I mean, in that sense, like, I went to the Natural History Museum. I just learned that whales, like, come from mammals that were like, the land. Isn't that crazy? Like, whales, like, used to walk. Like, they're just their ancestors.
That's crazy.
Like,
They must
that
have
blew my mind.
been big
I've been
boys
thinking
back
about that
then.
ever since. Like,
Really?
and this is like after the dinosaurs, right? But like, it blew my mind because so back like between they used to be called like the Pakistani whale. That's like what their ancestors called, and it was like a land mammal that like there was a sea between India and mainland Asia because India wasn't connected yet. After Pangea,
Yeah.
right? So
This is,
India
like,
wasn't
ancient.
connected, so there was a sea in between India and the rest of mainland Asia, and that's where the Pakistani whale lived. You can go and Google this. This is
So
all
so
real.
what so what you're saying is that whales are descendants from probably larger creatures that were on land?
Whales and hippos come from the same creature, just like us and monkeys or us
So
and chimpanzees.
so the whale's ancestor is queso.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Just wanted to make that clear.
So wait, I need to find a picture. I wish I could just like screen share it. We'll do that in post. But
Thank you.
like
I'm glad you cleared that up with me. I was so
that is
confused.
like what the ancestor of the whale looked like.
Oh my god.
Like
What
yeah,
is
that's like a pet. That's like a imagine
what is that? What
it's a
was it
Pakistani
called?
whale.
It was just a Pakistan whale? Like, what?
That was like the ancestor of the whale.
That's crazy.
And then they lost their feet, and then they gained a tail, and then they swum, had a blowhole, and like they're just like
Evolution.
yeah, it's crazy. Isn't that mind blowing though?
That is my I mean it's really the what came first, chicken or the egg kind of thing. You're going back and forth on what came first, but
Well, did you know that the
Oh,
duck-billed
man.
platypus came millions of years before the duck?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That
but,
makes
like,
sense.
it's called the duck-billed like, that's
Oh,
terrible.
yeah. That's interesting. The
So, like,
duck
what
is
was it
not
called
conferred
before that, you know? What were the
just
other animals calling it?
just platypus.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, hi. Big brain up here, you know me.
That's crazy. No, it's I just, and then dinosaurs were so big. I learned so much. I'm just, like, looking around like, "Whoa."
This man became a scholar overnight.
Bro, I love I don't wanna say I love science because like, I was in school, but, like, I wasn't great at science. I hated science, like, as a subject in school, but, like, I mean, like, natural history, it's incredible.
You go to one museum and your eyes have been opened to the world,
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you go see the Big Bang simulation, you're like, "Whoa." It's
right.
trippy.
That's how I feel going to Epcot. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
No, I know, and then you find out that the thing is not a big giant golf ball, but it's actually like a ride.
yeah. That's the mind blowing part. That there's
Nope.
people inside that thing.
What I hate about that ride the most is it's not like it goes so high, but it's not, like, fast. Like, I wish it was like a fast roller coaster,
I don't think the ball could withstand a fast roller coaster in there.
you know?
I gotta say, I don't think the ball could support it.
I think it could.
You think it could?
Yeah.
Like that ride system is a snake. Like it's looping
Mhm.
around.
I haven't been in, a decade, I feel like, 9 years, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's been, like, a decade this month. I think it was, like, 2014 December. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it definitely was because I remember, like, at New Year's, like, I was seeing on Instagram, like, all those memes, like, "This is the year that Back to the Future 2 happened."
That's true. Wait a second. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was like 2015. That was when it happened, right?
Well, yeah, 2015, but, like, December 2014, and we're December
Oh,
2024.
right, right. I remember
So
that.
So let's get into the big news. I got, for the brand, I wish I had chosen to do this for the brand. I didn't even choose to do this for the brand. I got forced into a burger eating contest.
Oh my god. Yeah. We'll put a clip of it right there.
Did I
Schwages,
send you the clip?
you bodied it. Absolutely tackled that burger eating.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you your props.
So I'm at Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers, Arizona staple. Sponsor us. That would be a great sponsor. I'm at Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers in Dallas, Texas, or just north of Dallas, Texas. The only Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers is not in Arizona.
That's the only
And
one?
it's the only one.
Wow.
So, a perfect place for Arizona State alumni to meet up before the big game, the Big 12 championship. And again, there it's packed. They don't have a seat. And I'm like walking around. There are like these two donors. One of them's like a mega donor at the table. And then another guy I recognize. And I hear the first name and I'm like, oh, that was the Mets beat writer like 5 years ago. And I introduced myself. I said like, "Oh, I read your writings and stuff," And I they're like, Pull up a chair, like sit here with us," and I do, and maybe I'm eating. I order the Scata burger,
Of
great
course.
burger,
Of course. Yeah.
like a normal burger. I think it probably had like it was a cheeseburger. It had probably bacon on it. I can't remember.
It's got a bacon.
It might probably a nice sauce. It was a good burger. Okay. It was better than, like, the Levitt chicken wrap. The
It's got
waitress
a
comes
lettuce.
around
It's
and
got
was
a
like
tomato. It's got an onion. Got a sauce.
the waitress comes around and was like, "Oh, what do you want?" I was like, I'm still looking at the menu. She's like, You want the Scata burger?" I was like, "Yeah, give it to me." I don't she's like, "It has
Whoa.
this and this and this." I was like, "I don't care.
Whoa.
I don't care. It's Cam Scataboo. If this is going towards whatever fund he sets up, like, give me the Scata burger." It's like Kenny on 4th down,
He
give
said,
me the
"Give it
ball.
to me." He said, "Give it to me."
And so I'm 3/4 of the way eating this thing, right? Really good burger. I'm enjoying my burger.
Yeah.
I've had like 2 beers at this point, right? And and this guy comes over, probably in his 30s, and he was like, "Any of you guys want to compete in this burger eating contest, the O-line burger?" It was like, "We already have 2 people, we need 1 more." And I'm like, and everyone's like pointing, like my brother also was like, "You got to do this,"
You gotta do it.
He's like, he can eat," and I
There's
was like,
no way you were gonna turn that down. No way. You
"Well,
had
it's not even that. I just like attention. Like I like eyes on me, you know." I think
Yeah.
if I forcefully said no, and everyone was like, "It'll be fun, whatever." And then I'm like, "Okay, I get a free burger at it. Like I'm not gonna compete." It's like a weird mindset where it's like I want to I don't want to feel sick after this, but also I don't go into things to lose, right?
Sure,
And
sure.
so it's like 2 minutes on the clock, just who can eat the most of the burger. By votes, I came second out of third, but people came up to me after and said like, "You ate the most burger," and like I ate the most of the patty as well. But this thing, like you eat it, bro, they put cheese inside of the burger. You
Oh,
take a
come on.
bite of it. Like I took a bite of it because I took it out. I tried Joey Chestnut style. I didn't think I could dip it. Like I wasn't gonna dip the thing in the beer or whatever because the Joey Chestnut strategy.
Yeah,
But uh,
moist.
I take a bite out of it and it like spits out on you.
No, all the grease that could come right onto
Yeah,
your
like out
skin.
of the burger.
Oh,
Like it was
no,
a
no,
good burger, but like out of the burger. I was
no,
like,
no.
what? And so yeah, I competed in it, and then this guy, nice guy, and I didn't get his name, sent me the video. Um, but I didn't, I mean, that's golden like burger shop content.
Um,
I had
yeah.
to do it for the brand, right?
No, yeah, I mean, if you didn't do it, Schwages, I'd actually just be disappointed in you.
Right,
Because
and it's like
one of
now
us
we
needed
have a
to do it.
fake origin story. Like we could be like, this is why
Yeah, sure. This is why we called
because
it,
Ethan
yeah,
competed in a burger eating contest.
and should have won,
Yeah,
rightfully. Should
I
have
mean, I
should have
think look, everyone that competed got like a free thing to pick out, and they weren't bad prizes because the other prizes went up for like uh auction, right, or for raffle. So I got an ASU beach towel,
Oh, attaboy.
which is
There
pretty
you go,
sick.
champ. Where you go, champ.
So when I'm laying down on the beach after ASU wins the national championship, when I'm in Tahiti, just hanging out after ASU wins the national championship, I'm laying on that ASU pitchfork.
I mean, there's no greater feeling. None.
No, I mean,
Plus that
we'll
number
have to
4
see
seed
what
brand.
the feeling was. But I'm telling you, great, just a whole great setup in Dallas.
I mean, and you got to also go to the game as well, right? I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
got to
fantastic.
see Jerry World for the first time. Um, it is incredible. It's a great. I mean, I do feel like people hype that stadium up to be like the mecca of stadiums.
I mean,
It's a
it's
football.
America's football team, right?
It's a football stadium. It's a cool football stadium. Like nobody's gonna walk in there being like, "This is a bad stadium." But I'm not like walking in there. Like they overcomplicate things. How about that? Like just walking through a club, like, oh no, you can't do that. You have to walk up to the 400s and go right back down and go around. So I mean, there are some things that were overly complicated. Good view from where I was sitting. Got to watch Kenny pull off some magic, and ASU won by a good amount.
By a very fair amount. Good margin, safe margin. I think they played it, they could have gone for 90. Could have.
Yeah, I mean they could have.
Merciful win. Merciful win.
And it's cool. Jeff Sims and Trenton Bourget got to take some snaps.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, but I
Good
mean,
for
overall, great experience. There's a great bar set up next to the stadium called Texas Live,
Now,
and
you didn't do any eating contest there, did you? Or no, no.
no, but it was crazy because like everyone we went to school with at Arizona State, right? Like you just see them. You're just like walking around, and
Right.
it's like, oh, yo, what's up? So it's like, oh, a
So
group
all
of
people
people.
you didn't want to see, obviously. Just
No, I have a look. I mean, we may have had different experiences like a lot of
Oh,
people like me, right? So it's like it was pretty cool to see some people, you know, to to see some of our former classmates ride the mechanical bull at the
oh.
cowboy bar. That was pretty cool.
On average, how long do you think most of them lasted?
But one of them, I mean, just Matt Venezia, he barely lasted, man. It's rough out there.
Poor dude. Poor
Poor
dude.
dude. Um, no, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see anyone last like super long on it, but
Did
it was
you
cool
try
because
that
it's
out
just like
too?
a what?
Did you try out the bowl as well? You fared
No, no,
well?
no, no, no. I mean, I would. I didn't.
So you're the eating contest athlete, but you ain't the bull riding athlete,
Look, I
basically.
mean, if somebody were to like be like for content, if somebody were to pay me to do it, like you or just pay for me to do it, if
But
somebody like really wanted to see me do it, I would do it. But otherwise, like I'm not incentivized.
just asking for a friend, you know,
Yeah. Like if you pulled
how
up and you were
much?
like, I need this video, like I'll give you $10 to do it. Or just
10 bucks.
like
Let's shoot for 5. How about that?
yeah, I mean, I'll do it. But but I just, I'm not overly like because here's the thing about me in bull riding, and I hope we get like a PBR person on here. I
Oh,
would I
yeah.
would love that. We have I have the connections. We can probably pull that off. Um, I am so arrogant. I just feel like I could stay on that thing, especially the mechanical one. Like I just think like how hard can it be? You just hold on and just don't let go. I
Right.
don't get it.
And I don't understand why people just, they think it's so hard. Like, it's hard just to hold on. Like, come on, grip strength. Hold on to that. Wrap it around your wrist. Stay on that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that hard. Come on.
Yeah, I
10,
mean, I don't.
$5? $5. Come on, Schwages. You got
You
this.
think, but here's the thing.
Do it for free. Do it for
No,
the win.
I mean, if somebody paid for me to do it and was like, do it, like I don't know how much it cost. It could be $5. Like for me to maybe stay on a bowl for like 4 seconds. I'm like, I don't know about that. That's a drink.
That's true. That's true. You
I
want
don't know
either
how much it
get Dos
costs.
Equis or bull ride.
Yeah. Um. The I would. I just have too much. I have too much of an ego. Like, because I'm gonna run around being like, "Oh, I could hold on to that thing for 3 minutes," like, if
Sure.
people don't tell me otherwise.
I think you could do it for 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely.
how
Easily.
hard can it be?
Easily. That's what I'm saying.
But
It's
what I was saying was, I think the thing about my ego is I think I try to hold on to that thing for too long and have too much confidence where it's like, somebody who knows they're about to fall off just slips off. I would go flying because I wouldn't go until I was, like, forced off from too much force. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
I feel like I could probably last only 5 seconds. I'm talking a lot of game right now. I will not last that long, for sure.
Well,
It's
I
just
think they
it's just the mass. I'm just gonna roll right off.
but, it's like those things are set up in bars for, like, drunk people, to, like, because 'cause they're gonna fall off pretty quickly, but if I was sober.
Schwags, I have a breaking news for you.
What?
Bronny James has 26 points in the G League right now.
Valley Suns?
No, no, for the South Bay Lakers, of
No,
course.
no, but I thought they was playing against Valley Suns, or is that new?
Oh, that's a good. Let me check. Let me check. He's 11 for 18 shooting right now. 26 points in this game. Bronny James, and he has an ESPN highlight. It is against the Valley Suns. Uh-oh. Bronny might be in, man. What do we got? He rocks the rim with this alley-oop. Oh! Okay, baptism. I got you. Okay, Bronny. I see it now. The glorious prince is rising out of the ashes.
I think the craziest thing is that is, like, it's not like he was ever putting up those numbers in a college game.
No, he never really did.
Because
But
if
in
he
the
did it, if
G-League
he at
game,
least did that once, like if he at least put up 30 one time, some of us would have been sitting around saying, "Oh, I get it. Like he is LeBron's son, but like there are players of his talent that you would draft at like 58."
yeah.
And
But
like the whole thing is, it's because the NBA has 2 rounds. Because like you could that nepotism and like a baseball draft would work perfectly fine.
I don't know if I mean they don't need more than 2 rounds in the NBA. They really don't.
No, no.
I mean, they barely need 2 rounds.
Well, and it's like I I'm a big college basketball guy. Have been my whole life. I've just recently gotten into watching more NBA than I do college. But that's because of FanDuel and DraftKings and all of those accounts, right?
Right, you gotta make
But
your money's worth for sure.
right, right. But I think for years the NCAA has seemingly had a better product that people want to watch. Um, for a lot of people, because that's like what a lot of people say. They're like, "Oh, it's just so much better basketball, whatever." But the talent in the NBA is just so much greater that there are only a select few guys that have that talent, which is why like you'll have guys that'll win the Wooden Award and they'll still be like late second round picks because
Right.
you're like, oh, they won't translate over. And then there are some guys that are like don't shoot as well, where it's like, oh, they're going to be first rounders because college teams want to work through all 5 guys. Or NBA teams, if you're good enough, you can just run through your best guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And college coaches
It's a
don't want to
different game on
don't
both
want
sides now.
college coaches don't want to let their freshmen one and done take over the game.
I mean, it depends what
With the
coach we're
exception of
talking
your
about.
program and Duke, which is, I mean, when you have programs that
Right.
are known for building 4 starters who are one and dones, right? I'm not saying
Well,
every year. I'm not saying every year, but like there were
this
some
year,
years. There were
I don't
some
think
years,
we're gonna have anyone. I don't think
but
Kentucky's gonna have anyone this year.
but the prime years of Kentucky, the prime years of Duke, right, where you had like Duke, Cam Reddish,
Yeah,
R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, right? None of those guys are like outshining the other in terms of like, or I mean Zion was, but like in terms of age, right? So it's like nobody's like, none of those guys have the ego to be like, oh, I've been here so long and you work through me. And Coach K was like, no, we work through our best player,
yeah. I mean, that was Kentucky when Calipari was there,
Right.
but now every team's kind of figuring out the veteran transfer system and NIL a lot more. And there's
Mm-hmm.
still some coaches that are kind of still stuck in the past, trying to keep the one and done system alive. Cooper Flag is going to keep it strong for another couple of years at
Yeah.
Duke, but because that kid is special. I am a Duke hater, but I understand the aura. This man does have aura. He is Duke's next great white hope. I understand that. But like, it is this team of Duke. It, I see it all. I see the Christian Leitner expectations. I see the Bobby Hurley comparisons. Like all the Duke teams of the '90s that were Coach K's specialties. Like there's so many comparisons to those teams for current day. It is insane,
Yeah.
and they deserve it. But will they win it? I don't know. I have no idea. They're part of the top 12 in week 6, which means they are in the percentage chance in the field, which Schwages, I don't know if you know this stat, but if you're in the top 12 in week 6, 100% of the time since 2004, the champion was crowned from a top 12 team in week 6. So out of those 12 teams,
I think this is a year to change that.
you think so? I thought it
Yeah.
was last year. I thought it was the year before that. But honestly, now I think we finally have a
Who's
more
the top 12?
consistent.
I'm looking up right now, but
You have Tennessee, you have Auburn, you have Kansas, you have Duke, you have Kentucky. Uh, I don't know if it's in that order. Gonzaga is still up there. Oregon was in the top 12. Iowa State in the top 12 as well. Uh, a lot of really good teams were up in there. I'll tell you some noticeable teams that are not. UConn was not in the top 12 this last week since they have lost three different games already.
I mean, if I look at this, I mean, look, Tennessee, really, really good program. Um, the fact that you can watch them without Dalton Neck and they're still just balling out, I think there is something special going on there. Um, I just that team disappoints me in March Madness every year. Like that team just
Yeah,
disappoints.
it usually does. Rick Barnes is not really meant for a tournament run, but he gets a great regular season and SEC championship run as well. He's good at
I
that.
I'm genuinely like look, I'm a like Syracuse fan through and through like my whole life, right? So this opinion I don't think should have as much bias. Watch out for Bobby Hurley.
No, no,
Watch
no,
out for Josan Sanon. He's
no.
like that program. And look, I mean, we'll be able to tell quickly because they held their own against Gonzaga. We'll be able to tell quickly when they go against Florida.
That is actually the game I'm judging ASU on right now because right at this moment I know Gonzaga is not who AP polls suggest they are. I know Kentucky beat them barely. I know ASU lost to them barely. They are a good team. They're a tournament team. I'm not sure ASU is a good team. They might be a tournament team. They might be in the first four.
But once you're in that tournament, I mean, I'm
But
not saying I'm like typically the later you get in that tournament, right? Like you start to see the better teams eventually, come out on top,
right.
right? But
I
um,
I will say that like ASU now has a harder basketball schedule than they did last year. Entering the Big
mhm.
12 is for football is different than entering the Big 12 for basketball. Big 12 basketball schools are, I mean, you got blue bloods like Kansas to go through. It is a gauntlet in the Big 12. Iowa State is also ranked in college basketball right now. Kansas State is always really good. So you're going to have to go through some really big names and big teams to get through any sort of conference championship or even a bid into the tournament. And ASU, they could, but again, I'm with you. Florida is a test they have to overcome. And I do not have faith in Bobby Hurley. I never have. But the ASU fans, you go ahead. You you take Bobby Hurley and see how far that gets you. But as a guy who just replaced his mediocre coach in the last 5 years, you might want to do the same thing, guys. Just think about it.
I I think that he's doing a fine job there, and I think you look at some of the numbers that Josan Sanon was putting up, and it's just like you don't know until you're watching NBA basketball and you're flipping back and forth, and you're lucky you watch Kentucky basketball all the time. To get a consistent 3-point shooter in college is not as easy as you
No,
would
it's
think.
not. It is a gamble. It's a crapshoot. You just never know
You
until
could
they start
leave
opening.
Anthony Davis wide open in an NBA game, and he's gonna maybe sink that three,
Yeah.
And like I know he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, right?
No, he doesn't. But when he's open and there's nothing
Right,
else
exactly.
open,
But like
he'll
even the
take it.
big man who doesn't shoot threes when he's open is gonna make it. But those same big men in college who aren't like the guys automatically going to the NBA, they're either bricking that or they're airballing it.
Right. Exactly.
Wide open. You can give some guys in college wide open for 5 seconds a three, and they're still gonna miss it at least half the time. Whereas like in the NBA, most of those misses are coming from contested shots.
Yeah. And they have to be because the NBA has valued threes that much more.
Right.
Uh, but I,
Mhm.
I do I do kind of want to talk about more along the lines of the NBA. And Josan Sinon deserves all the love. Like the kids at ASU are playing great. Jaden Quaintance is going to be an NBA player next year.
No, he
Uh,
can't. He has to wait. So
oh,
no
that's
will.
right. That's right. Quaintance came early.
But Sanone will. So
Forgot
that
about
means
that.
2 future NBA players on that team. What you thought you had in Josh Christopher and Marcus Bagley.
Right. I don't know if Sanone's going to be. He could. He's
You look
showing
at the mocks.
potential.
Just look at the mocks.
He's showing enough potential to be really good, but well, I don't know how good he'll be. Quaintance will be solid in the NBA. He'll be good. I'm never sure how good. He was going to go to
Joseph Sanone
Kentucky
is
before.
projected at 13 to the Houston Rockets.
That's about right. That's
And
about
so
right.
when you got two guys who were projected in back-to-back classes, first round picks, I mean, like you
And,
can't overlook that.
and this is the best recruiting Bobby Hurley has ever done.
Right.
And it probably won't get better than this. And that's because of the Big 12. But again, going against these big powerhouses, it's anyone's game in the Big 12 this year. It was in football. It was just a crazy bloodbath in football. It's going to be the same thing in basketball. It's going to just be absolutely balls to the wall. Kansas will be out of there like number 1, and then it's anyone else after that. They'll all be tied next to Kansas.
But like when you look at those, when you look at like the rankings and stuff, when you look at mock drafts and stuff, right? It basically comes down to the players and their talent, but it also comes down to how well they're coached. If their coach knows to run through those guys, and it seems that Bobby knows how to run through his best guys.
Yeah, he's doing it better this year.
Because you look at some programs where it's like, okay, they have talented players, but their coaches don't run their offense through those guys, and that's where when you have too many egos on teams and everything, right? Like one guy wants to shoot a bunch of random shots. I saw Syracuse try that with Joe Girard for 4 years. Just like, guys who think they're better than they are, just throwing up shots no matter where, no matter where, no matter when. It hurts the team. And it
Right.
feels like this ASU team. And I've seen, I went to ASU for 4 years. So I've seen the worst of the worst.
Like, imagine eating a raccoon for your Thanksgiving meal
I
instead of
mean,
a turkey.
probably. I don't think that I don't think any of these like obscure meats taste that far off from other. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think raccoon tastes like? Like, is it chicken, beef, or pork?
Yeah, but
What
that's the
do you think
thing.
it
That's the
tastes like?
thing. Like everything tastes like a hybrid of like chicken, beef, pork, or fish. From what I like,
Right.
when I was in Africa, somebody was like, "Oh, I had hippo." I was like, "Oh, what does it taste like?" Oh, they say it tastes like a chicken, fish, and then go with different animals, and it's just like a hybrid.
Yeah, like I had alligator before, and it was very close to pork, like very close. It was like a chicken pork hybrid. It was weird. It tasted good. Ostrich was
I've had
weird.
alligator too. Like
Ostrich was just chicken, like just different kind of chicken.
what?
Ostrich, it was chicken.
Big ostrich guy.
Huh?
Big ostrich guy.
Oh, big ostrich guy. Big. I'd eat ostrich all the time. I would win in an ostrich eating contest for sure. Yeah.
Big elk guy.
Yeah. If you put me in the outback there, and just no.
What about?
You heard me.
I think I'm over Big Justice and Big AJ.
Whoa.
Never
Whoa.
over the Rizzler. Never, not over the Rizzler.
The Rizzler's
So
still good. Still good.
I think it's shameful for them to be New York sports fans and then to go and support the Miami and then go and put on the Miami Dolphins uniforms at a game
That's true.
against the Jets.
Yeah.
I think this is even more shameful because I'm the one that helped try to set that up.
It's your own doing. It's your own
Yeah,
doing.
I was like Mallory,
I was about to say, you have the
this
inside
guy's
source.
just like, no, I'm not in that TikTok circle. And it was like a 2-month long conversation on this. And then it's like, oh, we invited them. They're from local, right? And it's like, we invited them. But here's the kicker. They were like, what's the budget? And she was like, we're not paying you guys. And they're like, okay, we'll do it anyways. But I don't like the cash grab. It's like you're trying to cash grab from an NFL team. Did you think you can big time an NFL team?
That's crazy. They thought they could get money from the NFL?
I mean, I bet a lot of
Oh,
these
man.
appearances that they do and things are, like, paid, which is still wild to me.
I mean, that would explain their rise to power. They're trying to get cash for their energy. Like, I
Yeah,
I'm not really sure what you would pay them for, really. Like,
like, unless you're gonna give me the Riddler.
yeah, the Rizzler I would pay for. Yeah, he gets money.
The I mean, I'd imagine it's like a manager running the social media being like, that's dealing with the DMs.
Like,
Who wants the money, you
I
know?
honestly find it hysterical how every single member of that family has a logo.
Mhm.
Like, you got Ashley, Mama Justice, you got the cousin, like, you got
The cousin is the worst. Like, he seems like a nice guy. That's the thing. He seems
like,
like
just
a nice
the
guy, like
uber Italian cousin.
the most genuine, but his bit seems so forced.
It's just one extra cast member that they needed, really.
Yeah, well, just
They're
like,
like, "We just need one more dude. Who do we get? I know who."
look, if you need that perfect Italian cousin, I know a guy.
So
He's in jail in
are you
Pennsylvania
offering
right now,
yourself up?
but, but he's better than what you got right now. I think Luigi should replace cousin Angelo. Look, are you disagreeing with me? I think Luigi would bring the boom better than.
Yeah, he'd be killer. You know, personally, Schwages, you set your own kind of record for the burger. You conquered that mountain, but or you were supposed to conquer that mountain, I should say. But then Joey Chestnut also just shows you up and does a shrimp eating contest, which I never seen Joey Chestnut do, by the way.
I just wanna say I have the utmost respect for Joey Chestnut now. That thing is hard. You're trying not to vomit. That's the last thing you wanna do, um, and it's difficult.
And he ate like
But
80 glissies before in one sitting, right? Like
yeah,
that was his
I have
record. Uh,
the utmost respect for him.
uh,
Anyone who calls him not an athlete is just a hater.
right, and that's what we do here. We talk about athletes that do not get the respect. Joey Chestnut should be getting more respect every day, but he's
Yeah.
not. And he wasn't even a part of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest this year, which is
No, he did his
absurd.
own thing though.
And he still conquered that.
Yeah, I mean, he did his own thing. He did it pretty well, right? So,
He was all right, you know. He was good.
I mean,
We're talking about the greatest of all time here.
what records does he not have? He has so many records. People only know him for the hot dogs, but he has so many records.
I mean, he's the entire book of Guinness right now.
Yeah, just
The entire
unbelievable.
book is just him, just eating food. Like anything in
21
the
pounds.
eating section is him.
21 pounds.
I honestly, I did a hot dog eating contest last summer, and I'm with you. I had so much more respect for Joey Chestnut because I only ate 3 dogs, and I wanted to throw up.
I could do like 10 probably.
Well, I won. I won the contest. Let me be clear. I won
Wait,
that
with
contest. I
3?
There were only 3. They gave us like they kind of just laid it out like 3 hot dogs for each person and who could eat them the fastest. And might I just say, I gobbled the glissies quite quickly.
Here was my problem though. I had already eaten a burger before. Like, if I didn't, what are you looking at?
Someone's knocking at my door.
Oh, we'll ignore them. Um, that's crazy.
Weird.
But if I hadn't eaten a burger before, I would have killed that contest because I'd be hungry and I'd be ready to go. Like, if somebody came up to me and was, before I tried that, I would have been ready. I was not. I still
Man,
gave them.
I was voluntold to do the hot dog eating contest. It was a summer camp, and these kids were just like, "Ben, you should go do it right now. Go, go." I was like their favorite counselor, so they were just like, "Yeah,
Well,
yeah."
well, you also look like the type of person.
Oh, what do
Like,
you mean by that?
I mean, like the vibes you give off. What? You
What do you mean by
no,
that?
what?
What do you mean by that?
No, I mean there are other people. There are people who are much like bigger than you, right? Who I would not pick to be like, oh, they would be good in this contest or they would enjoy this contest. But you're like the perfect like personality also that I feel like. I mean, we call this the burger shop, right? Like
So
I
you're
feel like
saying
the same thing for me. Like I feel like I give off the same vibe of like if I'm at a table of a bunch of people, like they're volunteering me.
so you're saying that I give up the vibe of a guy that would love to gobble a lot of glizzies.
I didn't say glizzies, but like
Just
yeah.
a gobble, basically.
No,
Yeah,
I know, but, like,
anything.
if it was, like, a cheese ball, like, eating contest from, like, the thing of cheese balls, that
Oh,
would've
yeah,
been
yeah, I'm out, yeah, I'm in. I'm
yeah,
locking in, for sure.
yeah, like, you got that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
What do you mean by that?
And you know exactly what I mean by that. You just feel like the type of guy to sit down in front of the TV and just, you know, watch Devin Booker put up 40 while you're putting up 400 in
See,
terms of cheese
that
balls.
that is crazy to say. That is crazy to say. You're just calling me out now because that is what I do on the daily basis, and you know that.
Well, no, I've been to the studio, your apartment, right? And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. You've
you're
seen
big
this.
you're a big Nerds cluster guy.
I am big.
Bro, I bought some of those and I had to hand them to other people. I was like, when I just like kept snacking on them, and it was so bad for me. Those things are so addictive. Like if I had
Yeah,
them
no,
right now, even if they're 2 floors below me in this house, like I'm running off this podcast and eating them, you know, because like
no.
those things
There's something in them. I'm convinced. There's something in them that's just
Wonka did
addictive.
it. Wonka did it. Or Timothy
Wonka.
Chalamet dressed up as Wonka did it.
I don't know if Timothy did it. Timmy didn't seem like the guy that would do that. You know, Timmy doesn't have
No,
that aura to me.
yeah.
Although he does know ball. Good for
He
Timmy.
does know ball.
He does know ball. Put
That was
respect
I
on
mean,
his name.
that was crazy.
That was well done. He executed that perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, people are debating whether or not he was preparing for a role or, I mean, like if he was doing it like as a role, you know, because like he memorized or he actually knows ball, which is like, yeah, no shit, he doesn't know who Parker Navarro is, and he's doing his research on that, but he can talk about him
Oh yeah, he's well educated in the sport.
unless he has only time on like Tuesdays when he's done filming whatever he's filming, and he's just like, Maction, let's go.
Hey, I can see it. Timmy no ball, for sure.
Timmy sitting in front of the
Cer-
TV with
certified
his
ball knower.
bucket of cheese balls, just going, Parker Navarro, touchdown.
All right. And
Look, I'm
Schwages,
not
you're
what?
pretty much. Speaking of touchdowns, I've seen this recently. And I don't know if you have been an avid TikToker as of late, but I've seen just ordinary video Schwags that just out of nowhere. I'm just like scrolling mindlessly, doom scrolling through TikTok, and out of nowhere, I'm watching like a Family Guy episode on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny. It's gonna end just like with the most vile, putrid human like shitbag you've ever like even heard out loud. And then all of a sudden, it turns into LeBron James highlights. He's yamming that thing down. You got music. Like it makes no sense, and it's everywhere. There's no TikTok now where I don't see a sports highlight.
And it's to the point where you'll see the Family Guy ones. Like back then, like back a few years ago, it'd be like midnight. I'd be scrolling and I would just see Family Guys. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, it's late out, right? Whatever.
Right.
Now it's to the point where I see a Family Guy TikTok that doesn't have a sports highlight on it. I'm like, what's going on? And it's not even Family Guy at this point. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you'll see a random high thing pop up. And, you know, a lot of times it's an animated show, but you'll see like, and you're just waiting, and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And it's like, you know, a chicken cutlet recipe, and then it's all of a sudden it's Tommy DeVito throwing interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's all you need,
I
right? To
haven't seen that one,
transition.
but You should. And to the point where like I'm headed, I'm traveling over to Texas for the bowl game for the Big 12 championship, and I'm watching the Simpsons, and I'm like watching these episodes of The Simpsons, just thinking about what part of that episode, I see a line, I'm like, I could cut that into a TikTok bit. Like I saw there was one where it was just like there was this episode, and it was like an episode of The Simpsons, like probably season 30 something, about a fraudulent scheme that this woman like married Mr. Burns, right? And she like started her own company that apparently desalinated like water, whatever. Okay. And just there's like a clip in there, and they're having a meeting inside, and there's a guy outside filming it's like a big massive hurricane. The guy filming, and he's like being blown away by the wind, and says, "This one's going on my reel. Make sure to get this on my reel." And I'm just thinking of the MMJs. Like if I was an MMJ, I would just be cutting my reel like on TikTok right after that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's the business that we live in, right?
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I think our friend Jack Bartlett, I feel like he should do that. We should clip
I
that
mean,
off and have him do it.
it's the first thing I did when I interviewed a snake.
Oh yeah, you showed that to the dean.
I did. I did do that. For those of you who do not know,
We gotta clip that up and put it
I
on.
interviewed a live snake, and I'll clip it. I'll put the clip on right here.
Mhm.
I interviewed a live snake at Chase Field Schwages. It was World Series. Had to go, uh, you know, see what all the ruckus was about. And I saw some fans outside, and there was one guy that just happened to be holding a snake. And so instead of interviewing the guy with the snake, I thought, how funny would it be to just put a microphone up to the snake and ask the snake questions, because they can obviously answer, right? It has a mind of
That's
its
top
own.
tier. That's top tier journalism.
It has a mind of its own. It can
Yeah.
answer questions. Like this is not hard things to request out of a creature like a
Mhm.
snake. Like they know
Yep.
what I'm asking. And
Now, if you're
apparently
interviewing the Pakistani whale, it might be a little more difficult
the
because those
Pakistani
things
whale might, but while they're ancient, they might be smarter than the snake. They might be.
do you think so? Like we're ancient animals
Honestly,
smarter?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think whales are smarter than snakes, though. They have to be.
Yeah,
Gotta
probably
be.
because they survived the land.
Snakes are just, I don't think this guy liked the question I asked, though. This snake did not appreciate the question I asked. And I think the snake, I'm still confused on the gender of the snake, because his name was Khalifa. Uh, and I don't think I really asked, I didn't really ask the sex of the snake. And
Oh
I feel
yeah,
bad
because
for
they're
that.
famous people on both genders with the name Khalifa.
Right. Well, I didn't really ask. And I feel dirty, Schwags, for not doing my journalistic duties and figuring that out. And I can't tell because it's a snake.
So what were the best of these TikToks? Because we texted about this. I mean, the UNC announced Bill Belichick by doing one of those TikToks.
That was really well done. That was hilarious. Well done, North Carolina, on starting your very short dynasty before he retires. This, I don't know. I've seen a couple of them. I've seen uh, everything from LeBron James to Bronny James to OJ Simpson. So these seem to range pretty wide range.
I mean, Family Guy's been great at the cutaways for years. I thought there was a Henry Ruggs one.
Oh yeah, we'll put the Henry Ruggs up there.
Where have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it. You sent it to me. Of
Oh, is
course.
that the one I sent you? I didn't know which one I sent
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I
You
found
sent me
a
Henry Ruggs.
Shohei Ohtani one.
Oh, I didn't see the Shohei one.
Um,
I feel like I've seen one, but I don't think I've seen the one you're talking about.
I'll wait. I'll put it. I'll put it up to the screen, and we're gonna cut this part out. Just cut. We'll go back and watch it, whatever. Or you put it on to cut that part out and just show off the clip. We'll send it to you after, okay? But I
Yeah.
need you to see this live. Oh wait here.
No son of mine is gonna be smoking dope. Why not, Dad? Is it any worse than your 3-martini lunch? What? No son of mine is gonna be drinking a 3-martini lunch. Why not, Dad? Is it any worse than your 5 Scotch breakfast? What? No son of mine is going to be drinking a 5 Scotch breakfast. Why not, Dad? Is it any worse than your 3 X's drawn on the jug corn whiskey moonshine? What? No son of mine drink anything but rice wine. That's right. We trace our early family roots to Asia.
No. God.
It's so funny. It's because it goes on for so long. It's like
It took like 5 or 6 different ways to get there. As soon
that's
as I
the best. That's the
saw,
best when you're waiting. Because by the way, like these aren't new. The amount of them are new. Okay,
yeah. I've
the
seen. I feel like I've
randomness
seen it
is
a
new.
year ago, but it is a lot more
The
now.
randomness is new.
Yeah.
But we've been getting these edits with like Josh Giddey and Wander Franco forever. Like those ones where they're like a clip, you know, and it's just like I'm 15 or you know whatever, you know, like
No, no.
those clips have been out forever. But the more random ones, you know, are they, and look, this is all just a lead in. You know, our animation. We talked Family Guy. We talked Simpsons. Did you see Ralph Wiggum's touchdown?
The what?
Did you see Ralph Wiggum's touchdown on Monday?
Oh, who didn't?
Bro,
was-
just I mean, a great performance on Monday by the Simpsons.
The toe tap inside? Come on, man. Ralph
I
had
mean,
that.
you know, we're talking about there was a Mo Sislak servant at the bar next to
Yeah.
the field.
I mean,
Couldn't
hey.
have been a better game to show. The
Although
Simpsons
I don't like
touchdown.
I don't like where Krusty the Clown went to college. I don't like that. I
No,
don't like what he said.
no,
I'd feel insulted by that.
yeah.
I would feel insulted if I were a
And
Sun Devil.
you know, I saw people like in a group chat or whatever. You know, people will be like, "Oh, there are multiple ASUs. I don't think he meant that ASU." I'm like,
He meant
if
that
that's what
ASU.
if that is what you think that joke was for any ASU, then you go to the ASU that they're implying
Yeah, because he made a
because
point.
you're too dumb to figure that one out. That we're the butt of the joke.
Yeah. Which means they could probably get enrolled into our school, which
Look,
that happens.
my takes on it is I'm a big fan of comedy. I think there are so many jokes within ASU. But I think the ASU punchline is just dumb. Like I'm not offended. By the way, like I'm not offended by it. Right?
It's old
I just
news.
think I think
Been
it's a
there, done that.
lazy punchline for a joke where it's like you can figure that out for other schools. I mean, if you want a school that accepts a lot more students, I mean, Kansas State accepts everyone that applies there, or 99% or something like that, right?
Right.
Nobody comes up with Kansas State as the punchline of a joke.
They could. It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
We're number one in innovation. Can Kansas State say that?
No, they can't even say
Yeah.
that they're number 2 in the Big 12.
No, they can't. They can't say any of it. So that means their loss, we're better.
Yeah, no, I think it's I do people who get like overly offended on that stuff. I think is dumb, but I do think it should be like pointed out and like you know to a certain extent.
I did see a
What?
Twitter thread. I saw a big Twitter thread this morning by someone that we both know from ASU.
No, but
Very insulted by this, and I loved scrolling through it. It was so good. It was
no, but like that person, right? If we're thinking the same, that was a good
Yeah.
thread.
It was so
Like
good.
it's a lazy joke. Don't get me wrong. It's a lazy joke. I mean, I think it came from the people at like ESPN. I mean, the Simpsons. The fun fact about the Simpsons, like all the writers, are all Harvard people.
Right, they're smart. They're genius. We get it.
Right.
They
But
want
I
to
mean, I
be
think it's
number
fine
one.
because like Family Guy's not. Family Guy has some of the smartest cutaways, you know. No, just I don't like the cheap ASU jokes.
Yeah, I mean, Dumb and Dumber, Ted 2. Like, do I even
Wasn't the
need
Ted
to-
2 one like good? Like a good
It was okay. Like it just said, like oh, you went to Arizona State. It's like you know, it's a fake law degree. Like
Yeah, but like even a decade ago, I mean, like some of
like,
these jokes were more warranted here, but the joke was I went to Clown College, aka ASU.
thanks, Krusty.
Thanks, Krusty. I mean, I think it's dumb for a network that's also putting out broadcasting the playoff games to be,
Yeah.
it's I don't there's something about that. It's just like it doesn't. What's the sound?
Krusty the Clown.
Well, here's the thing. Like ASU, if you don't get like the everyone gets in joke or whatever.
Are you not dialed into the music, Schwages?
No.
You should be angry at Krusty the Clown. He
I was
just
gonna
insulted your school.
I was
You don't
gonna
have to
say,
say Krusty. You.
I was
You,
gonna say,
Krusty.
there are a lot of like you'll hear with ASU, you'll hear like a lot of STD jokes, right? Those are better than the just academic intelligence jokes.
He's a clown. He's literally a clown, Schwags, and he's making jokes. He's making jokes about where we went to school. Are you not taking this seriously? You should have a Twitter thread.
No, but like, why are we the butt of all jokes? I don't get it. You know why?
No, he's
Because
not
the
funny.
entire SEC exists.
Oh,
And I'm not even talking about your school. I'm not even talking about the school that you're repping. I'm talking about even south. I'm talking about the schools south of that.
I'm with you.
These
Let's hear it.
Mississippi State people.
Where's Ole Miss right now? What about Florida? What about Vanderbilt? Great
They're
academics at
smart.
Vanderbilt, by the way. Great academics.
They're smart.
But Krusty the Clown,
No, but like,
you have the
like,
audacity to fight us? ASU?
the SEC has a split of like the smartest schools and like the dumbest schools.
I still have one thing to say to Krusty though, Schwags. And I think you know, because I've already said it. I have two words. Two total words for Krusty the Clown. First of all, Krusty, what a disgusting name. But here's what I gotta say to that stupid clown. F you.
Okay, but like I do have a story that is like perfectly encapsulates how dumb some people are at ASU. Like I remember I'm with like I was in a hot tub at like what was it, Atmosphere, like the rooftop a couple years ago. And I'm sitting there, they're like 6 frat guys, and I swear like these guys are like in like the remedial math class, just struggling to figure out the stuff. They're like, oh, I'll just pay this guy to do it. I'm like, oh, you guys do actually exist. Like we do have some dumb
I mean, we do have really dumb people that go to school. I mean, I think everyone has.
No, I know. Everyone does, which is like okay,
But they
And
do
I-
exist.
and I
Tempe
think-
campus has a lot.
what?
Tempe campus does have a lot of those people. I understand.
Yeah, but then the poly campus are like too smart. Like I don't know. I've never really liked the being able to. I never liked being like, oh, I'm better than you because I went to Cronkite or like the Barrett, like whatever. It's like I go to ASU and I'm damn proud of it.
Yeah, I'm a downtown campus person. I'm proud of that. But we
Mhm.
downtown Phoenix. But Tempe, I mean, come on, guys. Like, we could do better.
Okay, but like we have the best. I mean, one of the most fun campuses.
We do.
Great bar scene.
Oh, probably the best bar scene. Probably.
Some of the most attractive people. It's incredible. What?
Just,
You're not going to disagree with that. Like you go to a different campus. I mean, that's what all the polls are saying.
just saying that you're extremely honest right now, and I just want to know where you're citing your sources.
My eyes. Not like my eyes right now, but like
Wait,
I'm looking
not
at
right now. What do you mean? What do you mean not right now?
Well, I'm looking at myself.
That was going to say I thought you found me cute, but my bad.
But
My bad.
I mean, my take on that is like I think it's a lot of we caught a stray, caught a dumb stray.
Read it and weep, Krusty.
I can't read it.
Don't
You know why? Because I went to
went
Arizona
to
State.
ASU. Yeah.